pretty sure that we can all agree that this anime is absolute peak, and it really only took 6 episodes to show us. Don't say it, don't say it, don't say it, don't say it, don't say it. Anyway, the entirety of the anime revolves around 4 main characters: Shizuka, Marina, Azuma, and Takopi. We gonna get back to Takopi later, but specifically these 3 have something in common. Horrible fucking parents. I mean, god damn do they got it rough. How the hell do you not notice that your kid looks like she gets jumped? And it only gets worse. You know an anime is about to be fucked up when they give you a disclaimer, because within the first episode, we learn that Marina is bullying Shizuka, and she doesn't even try to hide it. I mean, look at her desk, and it's on her bag too. This teacher has to be blind, because how in the hell can't you see this? If this took place in America, there would have been no story, only a few more people through the entire school. It's so bad to the point where she would genuinely get pissed if none of her efforts work out. The only thing that's preventing Shizuka from disconnecting from the server is her dog Choppy, and she has been relying on him ever since he was a puppy. Oh, he don't bite, and I would believe it. I mean, just look at him. He's just happy to be there. And unfortunately, Marina had a nasty plan, and it was simply to beat her in front of her dog to get Choppy to bite her. And we all know one of the outcomes for dogs that bite humans. She wanted to make sure this plan worked because she was actively searching for her. Even with Takopi helping, she would still appear in front of them. This is on part 1 of JoJo's Dio type of hating. And the crazy thing about it is that none of this is even justifiable. She doesn't bully her because she's poor, she can't finish the school lunches, and it's definitely not because of jealousy. It's because Shizuka's mother works as an escort. And unbeknownst to her, she's been escorting Marina's dad. So now, their whole house is mad, and every day, Marina has to go back to her shattering home. And as a kid, there's absolutely nothing you can do in this situation. Does this justify her bullying? Hell fucking no. But it does continue to get worse. So after Choppy gets sent to Tokyo where her dad lives, Marina basically forces Shizuka to follow her into the woods. And lately, Marina's mother started to get physical to keep her on her side. So now in Marina's eyes, Shizuka gotta go. And that she did definitely try. But Takopi came in from deep. Alright, we gotta talk about Takopi. You see, Takopi is a Happian that left on a journey to spread happiness throughout different solar systems. But he naturally got shot down from entering Earth's airspace. He crash landed, was hunted down, and had nothing to eat. But that's until he meets Shizuka. She gives him bread and asks what his name was. Yeah, that's gotta be racist. So, as an alternative, Shizuka names him Takopi. And as a thank you for saving him, he offers to let her use one of his happy gadgets. But she refuses because it's not gonna fix her main problem. So the next day, he shows her the happy camera. And even though he managed to take a picture with her, he didn't get to explain what the gadget does. So for the next few days, he introduces new gadgets, but for Shizuka, she's still uninterested. However, the only time she ever wanted to use one of his gadgets was right after the Choppy incident. And she became a ceiling decoration. Now calm down. It is what it is. It is what it is. Just hear me out. You see, that camera is a vital instrument to the story, because without it, we would have never seen the extent of his help, nor would we see the extent of Marina's bullying. I mean, he got slapped so hard in this scene, we all took damage. And Takopi himself is the perfect embodiment of ignorance and innocence, because he can only go off of what he knows or assumes is going to happen, while also not fully understanding the situation until he experiences it himself, or it's already too late. And if you want to know what that camera does, read, nigga, read! So now that Shizuka is safe and Marina got laid the fuck out, there's no way out of this one, because the camera is now fucked. But Shizuka is happy as shit her biggest op got packed up. All of the hope she had lost instantly returned. And I ain't gonna lie, I was happy as hell too. Nigga, I cooked for the whole day. Now this would have been a nice ending for the story, but there's still someone missing. So now it's time to talk about Azuma. You see, Azuma has an older brother named Chuya who is the absolute GOAT in his mother's eyes. His grades, straight A's. High school, thrived in it. The girl beside him, yeah nigga, he bagged her too. And as an older sibling, if he notices something is wrong with Azuma, he would try to help out. Meanwhile, Azuma has to deal with his mother's high expectations of him despite only being a few points short because of Chuya. And it doesn't help the fact that they own a clinic either. Like, ma'am, have you seen your kid lately? Bro is reaching the absolute fucking verge of crashing out. The only thing that's keeping him going is the possibility of him being actually able to eat his mother's homemade pancakes. The other thing that keeps him going is Shizuka herself, but I'll explain that in a bit. Meanwhile, at school, he'll try to lend Shizuka help in any way he possibly could despite her saying that she doesn't want help. Thus leading us back to this situation after he notices this scene. So Shizuka tells him what happened, and Azuma, being the logical character, tells her that murder is still murder. So for Shizuka, it's gonna be crime scene, interrogation room, murder allegations, juvie and 5. But of course she doesn't want that, so she asks him for the alternative, and he says that you could hide the body.
That's a great idea.
Azuma is obviously against this, but considering Takopi exists, the possibility is a lot more realistic. Now, up until this point, Shizuka has never really sought out help despite visibly needing it, and here when she finally does ask, bro folded like wet paper. It could have been that easy. Really could have been that easy. But hold on, let me explain. So first of all, she is pretty. Second of all, she has double eyelids, in which his mother also has. And finally, she is trying now to rely on his help. So needless to say, bro was not winning that fight. Anyway, they put her in this preservation pod gadget, spent the day burying her, and now Takopi is marrying her. And from here, you should know what happens. But of course, they weren't always like this. Meanwhile, Asuma started a plan so they can go to Tokyo and get Choppy back from her dad's place. And Shizuka was not helping him at all. And all she did was wait, look pretty, gaslight, and enable him into doing dumb shit. But I guess it's fine since summer is right around the corner, so everything should be, and they found the body. Well, fuck. So now that the police are officially involved, they explain the situation and everyone in the class is shocked, confused, and crying. All but Asuma because he is going through it. Bro knows it's only a matter of time before they are cooked. Wait, hold on. Why are you crying? You're the main one that could have prevented these string of events. I know you're not trying to laugh. Second from the front row, it takes 4 fucking seconds to look down at Shizuka's desk and see the devil and 3 demons that did it. If anything, she needed to be gone. She actively sought out Shizuka to get Choppy killed. She assaulted her on multiple occasions and almost attempted murder. Twice. Hey, look, some people need to be gone, bro. You know I'm talking about in order for shit to get better. And she one of them. But anyway, the situation is not looking good. And Takopi was actually making sense on what should or could be the right thing to do. But all it took was for Shizuka to remind him that she was in peril. And the coon chip reactivated in this little Asian boy's head. Me when a bad bitch tell me to do something. And now Asuma is locked in, stressing himself over a plan that he has no obligation of doing. And it's not looking good for Shizuka either. All the roads are leading back to her. Asuma was stressing himself so much to the point where he failed his test. And his mother gave up on him that very same night. He was not catching any breaks because this is only the first piece of the 2-piece combo. Because when he reassures Shizuka that he can still help, she says, then take this and turn yourself in. Yeah, going through it was not a description at this point. He was about to go insane. She said that she would wait, kissed him on the cheek, and told him everything was gonna be alright. She really said, I got one more in me. And it worked. He was really about to turn himself in. But that's until the absolute GOAT pulled up for the save. You love to see it? Asuma told him everything that he had bottled up inside, and Chuya told him everything that he needed to hear. He basically said that no one is perfect, that he should rely on him more, that he would listen to anything that he had to say, and that those pancakes were mostly flour.
That's what I'm talking about! That's why he's there, me! That's why he's the GOAT! The GOAT!
So now that Shizuka can't use Asuma anymore, there's only one thing left to do for the summer. And that's head to Tokyo. And after one beautifully animated sequence later, she found the place. She ran inside, went up the elevator, rung on his doorbell, and yeah, this had to be the worst way to find out the truth. Her dog is dead, her mother lied, and her dad moved on. And from here, it was the start of her villain origin story. She came to the conclusion that those 2 kids ate Choppy. So she said to Takopi, give me a tool that can catch humans and check the insides of their stomachs.
I beg your pardon?
I beg your pardon?
She was plotting on how she was gonna use each gadget, but Takopi apologizes for everything that's happened so far and tries to convince her to go back home. But it don't work. She's too far gone at this point, and she's determined to leave here with something. Now, what if I told you that everything I've said thus far happened in the past? Now, the year is 2022 and we are eating magnificently with anime. We had Bleach come back, AOT, Demon Slayer, Mob Psycho, Chainsaw Man, Golden Kamuy. Hold on, I ain't done yet. We had Blue Lock, My Hero, Overlord, To Your Eternity, Call of the Night, Kaguya-sama, like nigga, oh my god! But more importantly, this was the year JJK0 had dropped. 2 years before Ankh had to put up the jersey and started working night shifts. You honestly hate to see it. But this year is where Takopi and Marina met first. Takopi does his usual routine and gets rejected, and Marina has bigger issues now, and it's her mother. And her mental has only gotten worse. So to make a short story even shorter, with Takopi helping, she meets Azuma and they start dating. Things start to look good, but the Kun chip reactivated. They break up and eventually her mother put 2 and 2 together and thus chaos ensues. And even after all of this, she still blamed Shizuka. So in order to make her happy, Takopi has to go back in time now with the mission of killing Shizuka. But he gets his memory wiped from his mother when he explains the situation, but still manages to go back in time. And now that he remembers, he's saying that he has to kill Shizuka and completely crush her life.
Whoa, brother, whoa, now. You got too much dip on your chip.
But despite him saying this, he thought it through. And right after he did, Azuma pulls up with a gleam in his eye. Now, as much as I want to cover that heart-to-heart moment, you should honestly go and experience it for yourself. It is that good. And the same goes for the ending sequence as well. So the seasons pass and eventually Shizuka returns back to the park. And she was moving different. She said, "Move. I'm going to the animal shelter to check the stomachs of the staff." Mind you, she already turned her first 2 victims in the headlines because they are allegedly whisked away. Bruh, she was dead, bruh. If she wanted you out of there, she go do it herself on P by herself. But as much as I want to cover this, go watch it yourself. I'm not gonna tell you again. However, the very last scene, I still do not like. Yes, it does make sense, but if I was Shizuka, Marina is getting a 500 kg straight to a window. Nigga, I am atomizing you. The fuck I look like getting along with my bully. I am not Mr. Street Tier. Once again, this proves that this would have never happened in America. That classroom would have gotten aired the fuck out on the first date.